Well, welcome everyone to another week. As you notice, we've sort of come to a halt at the end of our unit as the due date is rapidly approaching us. And as you notice throughout all the checkpoints that with these weekly lessons, we've kind of come to the end. So what I decided to do is maybe incorporate a review lesson for you guys and give you a study strategy that's going to help you study for the end of the unit assessment, which again, you only have 2 attempts to complete. So I want to give you the necessary resources and study skills that we can to kind of help you through that. So what I decided to do was use something that you're actually learning in your Connects U this week, which is the idea of Cornell notes. Can we use Cornell notes in math? And the answer is, hopefully, at the end of this lesson, yes. So your learning target is I can use Cornell notes to help study for my end of the unit assessment on dilation, similarity, and slope. So this unit has those 3 ideas, but we can use Cornell notes to help us study for them. So in the gauge section, I have you reflect, what was one way that helped you work study through this unit itself? Maybe through the other lessons that we did, maybe through the different checkpoints, maybe the content assessment. Was there a way that helped you or study work through this unit best? And kind of use that thinking and your expressions here to help guide and help kind of reflect as you move through this lesson, specifically on Cornell notes. And like always with the Explore section, we give you 3 different things to kind of do. We have a watch. So there's a video here for you that kind of uses Cornell notes in math specifically. And again, only watch from 4 to 9 is a lengthy video, so I only have you watching sort of a piece of that that kind of just reinforces, and they actually give you examples of what they're putting on their Cornell notes with math. The read section we'll kind of go over here together really quick. The practice is kind of different. I have you use this template that I'm actually going to have you use and elaborate, but with this template, I kind of want you on your previous video that you watched up here, take Cornell notes of the video. So practice using the template on the actual video that's telling you what to do and see if you can kind of start to understand the process a little bit better and enhance your understanding. With the read section, I found this little read section on Cornell notes to kind of see exactly what we can do here. So I kind of want to scroll down and kind of go through this idea right here. If you can see this picture here, it has kind of some headings and things you can kind of focus on as you do Cornell notes. And hopefully through your Connects U, you already had an understanding of what this idea is. So again, in this Cornell notes, what you're kind of creating is kind of like this like upside down T. And you can also put a line up here if you want to. If I kind of reflect a little bit on this idea, let me just erase this a little bit here. We can kind of draw this idea, but we can also put a line up here to kind of separate what we call our heading. All right, so here we're going to put the, the title or the subject that's being taught. So it could be in math, for example, it could be a dilation. Okay, and then in here, what we're going to put in math specifically could be terms, could be concepts, ideas, or even if you look over to the left, essential questions or a question that you have that you're going to answer in the notes section. Sometimes questions can gear your thinking to look for specific details on a certain topic rather than just putting the term down. So if questions kind of help you, maybe that's something you kind of put in there. So with dilation, we could put origin point. All right, and we could, again, note section put, it needs, I'll just kind of put, I won't write it all, but it needs to create or needs to either get bigger or smaller from the same origin point by the same scale factor. The origin point stays the same. And there's different things you can put in the notes section that kind of gear around that. You could even draw a picture in the notes section that refers to the origin point. So even a picture to show that here's my original figure, here's my new figure, and the origin point is a shared point. That's something you can do as well. Don't think you always have to write notes, but you could draw pictures to kind of refer back to that term or question that you stated. And then the last part is our summary. Why are summaries important? Summaries kind of specifically have you look back and find the most important things that you wrote down, and to kind of bring it all together for your mind to kind of actively work through that. And summaries are important, and it sounds like a very English, language reading kind of thing, but in math, it would be super important because it helps you to be able to define a word like dilation and specifically use all those details to explain what a dilation actually is through your unit. So hopefully this little demonstration helped you understand the use of Cornell notes in math and how useful they can be. And again, the difference could be is that your notes section ends up being more examples or visuals or pictures more than just written out definitions. In the explain section, what I'm going to have you do, like always, is explain your own words how effective Cornell notes could be in math. So kind of use the explore section and the things that we just talked about to explain in your own words how effective it can be, and kind of be serious about that and kind of write down exactly how you can use those in your math course. In the evaluate section, I simply have you look at some flashcards and take like a little quiz that kind of checks your understanding of the important pieces of Cornell notes in math. And then in the elaborate section, what I would love for you to do is to go back and watch all of our weekly instructor lessons 1 through 4 and use the template that I'm sharing with you, which is a Cornell note template, and fill out important information that will help you study. So this elaborate is very useful to you as you kind of wrap up the unit and study for that end of the unit assessment. And again, it's referring back to that target. I can use Cornell notes to study for my end of the unit assessment. So kind of take this seriously and go back and watch those videos and pinpoint things that I say or do and fill those into that Cornell notes to use for the end of the unit assessment. And then, like always, express what did or do you find frustrating about this assignment, or maybe through working through these checkpoints, is there something that we can learn about ourselves that was frustrating that we can kind of get through and keep working on? So again, hopefully by the end of this lesson, you can confidently say, I can use Cornell notes to help study for my end of the unit assessment on dilation, similarity, and slope. And remember that these lessons are for you to enhance your understanding, or in this case, give you a helpful strategy to be effective in your math classes and other classes that you're doing. Have a great week.